Hello. Let me start with a thank you to the Center for Democracy and Technology and the Stand Together Trust for organizing this conference. As the development and use of AI sweeps our collective discourse, it's essential to have spaces like this, spaces to interrogate the risks and the potential harms of using machine learning and artificial intelligence, but also spaces to explore the potential benefits of using these tools, the potential benefits of machine learning for human rights and for supporting human rights defenders around the world. My name is Danna Ingleton, and I am the Executive Director of an organization called HURIDOCS, which stands for Human Rights Information and Documentation Systems. We are an organization, a nonprofit organization that has been working for 40 years to support human rights defenders around the world to collect and systematize and make good use of the information they're collecting about human rights violations to ensure it's effectively used for justice and accountability measures. To do this, we develop strategies for collecting and documenting information, but we also develop our own software, a database called UWASI, that makes the collection of evidence, laws, and research more accessible to those who are using it to promote and protect human rights. And in recent years, we've been really interested in exploring integrating machine learning into our UWASI tool as a way to support civil society to sort through and parse increasingly and ever bigger data collections at unprecedented speeds. A good example is our partnership with UPR Info. UPR Info is an NGO that supports the realization of human rights through the Universal Periodic Review process at the UN. With them, we have integrated machine learning into the UWASI database to label and to track the progress of thousands of recommendations, of voluntary pledges made by UN member states about meeting their obligations. Now, that might not sound like much, but let's talk about the impact. In the past, documenting everything that has come out of the Universal Periodic Review cycle, including gathering all the documents, labeling all of the documents, putting them all in the database, etc. This process could take up to 3 months after a cycle. With the use of machine learning in the UWASI software, this process now takes only 5 days. So you can imagine that the impact of integrating machine learning can be huge on those collecting information, understanding huge sets of data for making sure that governments are held to account for their human rights obligations. Another example is the collection of content. All over the world, civil society is collecting and producing and sharing more and more content, whether that's videos or photos or other kinds of data that document human rights violations. In fact, there's ever increasing amounts, more than ever before in human history. A good example is in the conflict in Syria. Our partners at the Syrian Archive Project have preserved an estimated 40 years of open source video demonstrating and documenting crimes and atrocities. Think about that. That means that if we were to press play on that database right now, we would be watching nonstop until 2063. So as you can imagine, integrating machine learning as a tool that we use for faster and effective labeling and archiving and pattern recognition of the documents that civil society are collecting, doing this and adding it to civil society's toolbox, it will be an essential element in ensuring civil society is equipped to go forward into a future where there is certainly not going to be a lack of data, but the problem will be making sense of all of that data. Lastly, I would like to also note the importance of making sure that civil society, including HURIDOCS and all of our partners and everybody else at this conference and people around the world, including them in the debate about accountability and the responsible development of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So while at HURIDOCS we are happily and very excitedly exploring the use of machine learning, we also want to be part of the conversation about how to do that responsibly, how to make sure that in collecting and parsing and managing all this data, we're not contributing to any issues related to data security or privacy or anything else. And I really look forward to hearing the other talks in this conference, to continuing the conversation in other spaces, to make sure that we as a collective civil society are ensuring the responsible development and deployment of these tools. And with that, I would like to say thank you. If anybody would like to speak further about our work using machine learning, our work thinking about the responsible development of it, then please do feel free to reach out. Thank you and have a great day.